Okay, I'm just about to get my gear ready for wintering. So I've got this colony here with a standard 10 box frame. Poly, these are the bee boxes, Paradise bee boxes. So literally what I do is here's an empty box. Uh, I've got two 3/8 approximately shims. I'll put that on the top frames. Does it have to be perfect? Nope. But I'll do front, back like this. Then I've got my feeder slot. So it's just a piece of 2-inch styrofoam with an opening slot there. I've got a plug for it, so I'll get the plug for now, but be putting another CO2 sensor in here. You can see how it just pushes down, sits on those shims. Next step is bubble foil wrap. I'll just put that on top like that. It helps seal things, keeps the bees from flying out. And then I've got 3 sheets here of styrofoam. So literally that's our 30 approx with the hole in the middle, our 40. I'm done. So that's the winter setup, super easy. I just reuse, this is probably the 3rd, 4th year that I use these square slots. That insert I think I made last year. It worked really well, so now I'm stuck on that. So what I've got is I've got some extra cutouts like this. You'll notice the Hive IQ boxes. These are, I believe, 9 frame boxes. So lengthwise they're the same, but widthwise they're narrower. So what I'm going to do is just take some of those sheets, cut them down to this width. And so Bob's my uncle, so I don't really have to do much cutting. So, and currently, if you remember my setup for winter feeding, I've already got some cut. So literally, there you got the bees with an empty feeder. I'm going to take this feeder out. I'm going to make one of these feeder slots with the space for a pollen patty to put in the middle here. I do have some more CO2 sensors coming, so this yard here can communicate directly to the house via LoRa, so long range signals, and then upload the data to the internet. So my goal will be to monitor these 2 colonies CO2 wise with temperature and humidity above the cluster and a few measurements below the cluster. I'm leaving the day after tomorrow, so my goal is to get all this stuff done tomorrow. I'll probably come in the morning when it's cold. Bees are in cluster, they won't bother me. I won't really need to use smoke. And then basically takes me about a minute to do each. So it's minimal interruption on the bees. And then once I get my new CO2 sensors, I'll basically just pop the lid, similar to what I do in the winter, late winter for the pollen patties. Stick my CO2 sensor in there and all should be good. So yeah, tomorrow removing the feeders, sweeping the bees inside the box, shims, empty box, feeder slot, and then 3 sheets of 2-inch styrofoam. With a bubble foil wrap around the feeder slot. So that's the goal. I've got 5 colonies to do. So I'll do that tomorrow. Shouldn't take me too long. Cheers. Okay, I just finished modifying or just cutting my other pre-cut styrofoam to the Hive IQ size, so it's all ready to go. So tomorrow I've got basically 4 kits here plus another one, so all my colonies will have basically our 40 on top. Notice I do have a plug that I'll be able to take out later in the season. I had some willows hanging around, so dried willow, so I just cut that from the shims. No point using expensive materials. There's the plug. Just put a bit of hardware cloth there, put some Reflectex, or some aluminum tape on the bottom of the one that goes in the lower end. This one here I didn't bother putting 1x4 ripped pieces of wood around like I did the previous ones. It's overkill. It'll do the same thing. These ones here have wood, the original ones, and these ones here don't. The one that I just cut. Luckily I had enough of these pre-cut pieces so I don't have to mess around or go buy some new styrofoam. So anyways, cheers. Okay, I guess you can see the bees are in around the hole. They were out of the feeder, which is good. Feeder was empty, so it means they took everything in. So I'm just gonna move that to the side and then put this box on and start the process. So bees, I can't see because of the sun, but bees are in a cluster. It's not a massive cluster, but should be fine. So I'm gonna put this box on. Next step is shims. Front and back. Next we put the insert. And now the bees are sealed in. I can't get back out, which is good. There's a plug in the middle I can remove. So next I put just some bubble foil wrap. This is more for later when the pollen patties are in March. And now I throw in 3 sheets of styrofoam. Like I said, it's actually quite a big colony. I usually wouldn't overwinter in this big of a volume, but season's almost done. Then I just didn't have time to consolidate it, so it should be fine. And then finish it off with a and that is how I do my winter setup. Okay, so like always, they propolize and probably wax this piece in. So I should have taken it off a while back, which is too bad. Okay, decent cluster. I've disturbed them enough, so I gotta put my shims in without crushing too many bees. It's cloudy and cold, so bees aren't happy to be disturbed, but once I get this in, it should be good. And then they won't get disturbed for a long, long time. Okay. So next goes this insert. And it should sweep most of the bees down. It's basically sized to fit like that. Here's my CO2 sensor for now. I've got a couple that are coming in. and I put some meshing there to help prevent the bees from tropicalizing. I put my bubble foil wrap, and now the bee situation should calm down significantly. Okay, and that's it. And now I just stuff in this styrofoam. And that's it. And then throw on my top, and it's done. Hopefully I didn't shake too much there, but that is my winter setup. Okay, so this one has a bubble flow from my feeder, so I'll just leave it on. That'll be enough. And then I'll slide this on. So now I've got the slot here. I'll be putting a CO2 sensor in here. And then I keep doing what I did. So bubble foil again. And then I've got 3 sheets of styrofoam here. I tape the edges so that they last much longer. So I'll just put my camera up here. And there you have it, folks. A box full of styrofoam. 4 sheets with the bottom one having a cutout large enough for a pollen patty. Cheers.